All right, so today we're doing a deep dive on DT home construction.
Sounds like someone's maybe thinking about a new home or a big renovation.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It is. And their website, well, let's just say it's giving me a real feel for their style.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing what you can learn about a company from their online presence.
Right.
Like what they choose to put out there.
Yeah.
What they're emphasizing.
Yeah.
What that says about them.
Totally. And right away, boom, 20 years of experience.
It's got to catch your eye.
It does.
Definitely makes you think, okay.
Yeah, Perth-based, too.
Oh, local.
And they've got their phone number right there on the front page, 613-804-1670.
Like, call us.
Yeah, easy to reach.
It does suggest they're confident, that they're accessible, easy to get a hold of, and that their local reputation is solid.
Yeah, for sure. Now, they use words like trusted and quality work, which we see everywhere, right?
Oh, yeah. Standard in the industry.
But they're trying to give those words a little more oomph.
By actually, backing it up with details.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
So they talk about quality craftsmanship and personalized service, which everyone says, but...
Right, but then they go on to actually explain what they mean by that.
Exactly. Like they get into how they source their materials, that they use high-quality materials.
Yeah, emphasizing that they're durable, they add value.
It's smart, right?
Yeah.
Because that speaks to both the look you want and the long-term investment.
Totally. And they don't stop there.
No.
They talk about being responsive and communicative throughout the project, which, let's face it,
Oh, huge.
when you're talking about building a home, that's a big deal.
Absolutely. Building a home, that's a big emotional investment. And they seem to get that.
Right.
Like they're really emphasizing that collaborative approach.
Mm-hmm. And this is where it gets interesting, okay? They use the phrase innovative design solutions. It's like they're not just about basic construction, you know what I mean?
Like they're bringing some creativity to the table.
Yeah, like they want to make something unique.
It makes sense, right? People want something unique, something that reflects their style.
Exactly. And then they mention having strong community ties.
Okay, so they're talking about those local connections.
Yeah. They specifically mention having relationships with local subcontractors and suppliers.
Oh, that's important.
It is.
Subtly important,
Right.
It suggests they're really plugged into Perth,
Yeah.
which could mean things run smoothly, maybe even save some money.
Makes sense.
And it shows they care about their community.
That's a good point. And speaking of local, they also mention a proven track record in Perth and their familiarity with the building codes here.
So they're really leaning into that local expertise.
It seems like it.
Like, we know Perth, we're the Perth builders.
All right, so let's get into the services they offer.
Okay, what are they working with?
You've got your standards, building construction, home renovation, additions.
The classics.
Yeah, the classics, but then they call out premium window and door installation.
Now that's interesting.
Right.
Windows and doors, they can be tricky.
They can.
So highlighting that shows they're not afraid of the details,
Yeah.
the really precise work.
And it goes back to that emphasis on quality craftsmanship.
Exactly. And then to really drive it home, they have a gallery of their past projects.
It's like, look what we can do.
Yeah. Don't just take our word for it. See it for yourself.
Exactly. And they wrap it up by going back to that commitment to quality and client satisfaction.
Got to make sure the client's happy.
They're located at 707 Althorpe Road in Perth, and their email is email protected.
So putting all their info out there, very transparent.
So from what we've seen on their website, what's the image they're presenting?
Well, they're really emphasizing that they're all about quality, communication,
Yeah.
personalized design, that local expertise, their experience, and that they really value working closely with their clients.
I like how they weave all those themes together.
It's like they're telling a story.
They are. Okay, so we've got a pretty good idea of how DT Home Construction wants to be seen.
First impression.
Right, but of course a website is just one piece of the puzzle, right?
Oh, for sure. It's just a starting point.
So where do we go from here? What's the next step in this deep dive?
Well, we've seen what they want us to see.
Right?
Now let's see what they're really all about.
Ooh, I like that.
Let's dig into that why choose DT Home Construction section.
Okay, let's do it.
That's where they really try to stand out from the crowd.
I'm intrigued.
Let's see what they've got.
All right, let's dive in.
It's interesting how they've set up this section. It's not just about listing their services. It's more like they're trying to answer the questions a potential client might have.
Yeah, like, will they get my vision?
Exactly. Will they stay on budget?
Right, all those big questions.
And they start by talking about their expertise and experience, But they don't just say they've been around forever.
Right, they've got to have more than that.
Yeah, so they mention their proven track record, specifically in Perth.
Like they know the area?
Yeah, they're showcasing projects that really highlight their understanding of the local style.
Makes sense, building in a historic town like Perth, you know?
Yeah, it's got its own unique challenges.
Right, it's like they're saying, we get Perth.
Exactly.
So what else do they highlight?
Well, they get into more specifics about their quality craftsmanship.
Okay, so not just throwing around fancy words.
No, they're getting specific. Like they mention using locally sourced timber.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they even talk about how it's known for its durability.
So thinking long term.
Yeah, and they talk about energy efficient windows that meet or exceed industry standards.
So it's not just about looking good.
No, it's about building something that lasts.
Right, building value.
Exactly. And this ties back to their whole thing about value, right? They're building an asset.
It's an investment.
It's not just a house, it's an investment.
And they mention personalized service again, but
They do.
this time they actually explain what that means in practice.
Okay, so how do they do it?
They talk about clear communication throughout the whole project.
Keeping you in the loop.
Yeah, they even mention a dedicated project manager for every client.
Oh, wow. So you've got one person to go to?
Yeah, that's pretty personalized.
That's a big deal for some people. You know, that feeling of being heard throughout the process.
Especially for something as big as building a house.
Absolutely.
And remember that phrase, innovative design solutions?
Yeah, that was interesting.
They actually give examples of what they mean by that.
Oh, okay. So what kind of things?
Like they talk about integrating a rooftop garden into a modern home.
Ooh, that's cool.
Right.
Creating an urban oasis.
And they talk about blending a contemporary addition with a heritage facade.
So they're not afraid to mix it up.
No. It's like they're saying, we can do it all.
That's impressive.
And they bring back those strong community ties.
Okay, so more about those local connections.
But this time, they take it a step further. They explain how those relationships benefit their clients.
Okay, I'm listening.
They talk about timely project completion and staying on budget.
Oh, so those local partnerships actually help them deliver.
Yeah, it's all connected.
All about that network.
Right, they really know the ins and outs of building in Perth.
They do?
And to top it all off, they offer a free estimate.
Nice.
That's always good.
Takes the pressure off.
Right, you can explore the possibilities without feeling committed.
Exactly.
And they make it really easy to get in touch. Phone number, email, address, it's all right there.
Very transparent.
Which is what they've been emphasizing all along.
They are.
Okay, so we really dug into that why choose DT Home Construction section.
He did.
And I'm starting to see the bigger picture.
Me too. It's becoming clearer.
They're going beyond just listing what they do.
Right. It's more than just a list of services.
Yeah, they're showcasing their strengths, and they're really trying to address any concerns a potential client might have. It is. Now, before we move on, there's one more interesting detail on their website.
Oh, what's that?
They have a whole section titled The Best Construction Company.
Well, that's bold.
It is, but, you know, sometimes confidence is a good sign.
True. True.
Oh.
Let's see what they've got.
So they start by saying they're committed to providing top quality work that meets all your expectations.
Setting the bar high.
They do. And then they talk about their team of experienced builders who have been in the industry for years and deliver results that exceed client expectations.
Okay, so experience and client satisfaction, those are the key points.
And then they say, we understand that a successful venture starts with reliable building materials, professional service, and dependable techniques. And that's why they strive to ensure your satisfaction every step of the way.
It's like their mission statement, right?
Yeah.
Like these are the things we value.
Yeah, it's comprehensive. They're not just talking about building houses, they're talking about building relationships.
That's a good point. It's about trust and mutual respect.
And it all comes back to exceeding those client expectations.
Going above and beyond.
Exactly.
It's one thing to say you're the best.
Right, but you've got to back it up.
You do.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they're putting client happiness front and center.
They are.
It's about going the extra mile, making sure the whole process is smooth and enjoyable.
Exactly. So yeah, maybe claiming to be the best construction company is a little bold.
It is.
But they're backing it up with information that suggests they're reputable and client-focused.
Yeah, they're not just throwing out empty boasts.
No, they're giving concrete examples and explaining their philosophy.
They're walking the walk.
This section really reinforces that idea that DT Home Construction takes pride in their work and that they really want to make their clients happy.
And that message is consistent throughout their website.
It is.
It's like they've really thought about how they present themselves.
They have.
It's a carefully crafted image.
So we've gone from a basic overview to a much deeper understanding of what DT Home Construction is all about. Their values, their approach, their commitment to quality.
It's amazing what you can find out just by looking at their website.
It is. Now, for our listener who's thinking about DT Home Construction, what's the next step? We've explored the website, we've analyzed the message. Where do we go from here?
It's a great question. We've done the online research, right? Now it's time to take it offline.
Love that, bridging the gap.
Exactly.
So what do you recommend?
Well, first things first, reach out to them directly.
Talk to a real person.
Yeah. Schedule a consultation, ask your questions, get a feel for their communication style.
That personal connection is so important.
It is. You want to see if you vibe with them.
Exactly.
And don't be shy about asking for references.
Yeah, talk to people who've actually worked with them.
That's invaluable. You'll get insights you won't find anywhere else.
It's like getting the inside scoop.
It is. And if you can, try to see some of their finished projects.
Yeah, seeing is believing.
Right. It's one thing to look at pictures online, but it's different to actually experience the space.
It's about those tangible details.
Exactly. And remember, this is a collaboration. You're not just hiring them, you're partnering with them.
That's a good way to think about it.
So don't be afraid to share your vision, ask questions, voice any concerns.
Open communication is key.
It is. The more you communicate, the better they can understand your needs.
And ultimately deliver the home you want.
Exactly. And trust your gut. If something feels off, it's okay to walk away.
You got to feel good about this decision.
You do. It's a big one.
Building or renovating a home, it's a big investment, both financially and emotionally.
Absolutely. It's about finding someone you trust, someone who gets your vision.
Someone who can make it a reality.
And remember, you're not just building a house.
No.
You're creating a home, a place where you'll live your life.
It's an exciting adventure.
It is. And with the right partner, it can be an amazing experience.
Okay, so we've covered a lot here. We've analyzed their website. We've talked about the importance of personal interactions. Now, before we wrap up this deep dive into DT Home Construction, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay, I'm ready.
Given DT Home Construction's focus on innovative design solutions and creating truly one-of-a-kind homes,
Yeah.
what are some unique or unconventional features you might want in your own dream home?
Ooh, that's a great question. It really makes you think outside the box.
Right.
Like, what would make your home truly special?
Exactly. So as you continue your research, keep that question in mind.
Don't be afraid to dream big.
No, let your imagination run wild and think about what would make your home truly yours.
I love that.
Well, we've reached the end of our deep dive into DT Home Construction.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. We've uncovered a lot about their brand and their approach.
We have, from analyzing their website to talking about those real-world interactions.
And now it's your turn.
It is.
Use what we've talked about today and keep exploring.
Do your research, ask questions, and most importantly, trust your gut.
It's a big decision, building a home.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's also incredibly rewarding.
We hope this deep dive has given you the knowledge and the confidence to start your own home building journey.
Happy building.
It really is. And it's easy to get lost in the details, the budgets, the timelines.
Oh, for sure.
But, it's got to feel like home, Yeah.
Absolutely. It's about making it your own.
Exactly.
It's those little things that make a difference,
Right.
Like a little reading nook tucked away into the stairs.
Ooh, I love that.
Or maybe a home theater.
Oh, with a starry ceiling?
Yes. Or a kitchen garden built right into the counter.
Okay, that's amazing.
The possibilities, they're endless.
They are. So as we wrap up this deep dive into DT Home Construction,
Yeah.
they're trying to be more than just a construction company, right?
It seems like it.
Like they're going for that we're your partner vibe.
More than just a contractor.
Exactly. They're all about quality, personalized service, and that deep connection with Perth. They're emphasizing their experience, their use of high-quality materials.
And those innovative design solutions.
Yes, and they keep coming back to communication and client satisfaction.
They do.
And they're not hiding anything.
No.
Their location, contact info, even their specialty in windows and doors.
It's all right there.
Transparency builds trust.
For sure.
So for anyone listening who's thinking about DT Home Construction, what are the key takeaways?
Well, remember, a website is just a starting point.
It's just the beginning.
Yeah, like the first chapter of a book.
You've got to keep reading.
Exactly. Reach out, talk to past clients, see their work for yourself.
Do your research.
It's all about finding that perfect fit.
And don't forget that question we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
What makes a house truly yours?
What are those unique features you want?
Let your creativity flow.
Don't hold back.
Well, that's a wrap on our deep dive into DT home construction.
It's been fun.
It has. We hope you learned a few things.
And that you feel more confident about your next steps.
Whether you choose DT home construction or another builder.
The most important thing is to find the right fit.
Absolutely. Building a home is a big deal.
It is.
But it's also incredibly exciting.
So exciting. Enjoy the process.
And remember, what was that?
Happy building.
Happy building.